why not touch base on, the top 3 or 4 things that they can do to kickstart 2022 and start investing in real estate?
I think that's a great idea. So let's do it.
You're listening to the Real FI Podcast, where we discuss time-tested tricks, techniques, and strategies for pursuing financial independence today, so that we can enjoy a better tomorrow. Financial independence isn't about getting rich quick. It's about cultivating a foundation to grow financially, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let's figure out how to kick the 9 to 5. Here are your hosts, Patrick and James.
Welcome to another installment of Thinking Out Loud. My name is James. I'm here with my co-host, Patrick. How's it going, Patrick?
It's going great today, James. Going great. We got a great topic today, and I'm looking forward to bringing some value to everybody out there.
Absolutely. So, it's 2022. It's the beginning of the year. It's January. Everybody's got their goals that I'm sure they're talking about, they're thinking about. And we just wanted to provide some value to our audience on, how to approach kicking 2022 in the butt and, doing a really, great year. So, where do you want to start, Patrick? What do you want to talk about first?
So I think it'd be great to start to talk about getting started with your real estate investing journey. I mean, a large focus of what we do and our goals are focused around real estate. I know there's going to be a lot of real estate investors or people that are looking to get started in real estate listening, that follow me, that follow you. So why not touch base on, the top 3 or 4 things that they can do to kickstart 2022 and start investing in real estate?
I think that's a great idea. So let's do it. We talked briefly about what we wanted to chat about. Now, I guess I'll go ahead and take the reins and start off. And I don't think we even mentioned this when we were chatting on the side, but one thing that I think that people should really focus on as they're getting started, and they're developing that plan to get into real estate and develop their financial independence journey, is working on your systems and not just your goals. A lot of people focus on those goals and they don't have a good way about going about it every day, those daily consistent actions to develop those systems to reach those goals. Having a goal is great in the first place. It gives you something to think about every day. You can write it down, you can look at it in your journal. But without those systems to hold yourself accountable for those daily actions to get there, you're really going to be lacking that forward progress. What do you think about that, Patrick? Are there things that you're doing? Do you have any thoughts on that? Focusing on systems rather than just goals. I know that goals are super important. You gotta have those down and you have to believe in them. But I think there's a lot to be said about having systems in place as well.
Yeah, for me, when I think about that and someone who's just starting out, what I would say is your systems is going to kind of be, what are you inputting on a daily, weekly basis that is making you think more about your goals? So that would be listening to podcasts, reading news articles, maybe picking up a book, and just dedicating some time every single day or every couple days to get that information flowing, to get your thought process more. So it's something that you're consciously thinking about on a regular basis. And I think that would be the first start to kind of putting a system in place to get you started on your journey, and keep that in the front of mind so you can start achieving those goals that you have written down and have for this year. I don't know. What do you think, James?
Getting knowledgeable. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And you can install systems in your day-to-day life to make that happen. I know I don't have much of a commute these days, but when I was commuting up in Maryland from Frederick County down to Montgomery County, it'd be a 45, 50-minute drive. And that was a great time to put on a podcast, have that little daily ritual, try to educate myself, find some inspiration, listen to what other people were doing, whatever the subject was, whether it was real estate focused like this podcast, or perhaps even Bigger Pockets, or something personal finance related, or whatever. You don't just have to mindlessly go down the road and not try to train yourself. So that's one example of a system that I used to implement and work on, every day that I could. How about yourself? What do you think?
Yeah, no, the same thing. I mean, for for a really long time, I was doing the same thing. I was listening to the Bigger Pockets podcast. Every episode that came out, I started listening to Rod Khleif and Michael Blanc and some of the other great podcasts out there to just hear what other people are doing and give me some inspiration and some motivation. So I think, first and foremost for this year, if your goal is to get started in real estate, start thinking and actively going after some of that knowledge, whether it be podcast, buy a real estate book. I mean, any Bigger Pockets book is going to be great to kind of get you started. And that should be your first goal, to get knowledgeable. And I think the next thing that you should do is start looking for real estate. Even if you don't feel comfortable, like you're ready to buy, you should start looking at what's available in your market and learn how to start analyzing that and looking at the numbers, because that's really going to shape your target market and be able to give you an idea of what's available out there and start analyzing these deals. Bigger Pockets has a great calculator. There's a ton of free calculators out there where you can learn to plug in the numbers and get used to analyzing these deals. So when you're ready to go out there and start buying one, you already know how to analyze the deal. You've looked at a ton. So when you come across that deal, you're going to know it right away. So what do you think about that, James?
100%. I think that now we're transitioning away from the knowledge aspect into the taking action aspect. Of course, like it's great to educate yourself as much as possible, but a lot of people fall into the trap of, just educating too much. And then they're using that as a crutch before they're actually taking these next steps. And I think this action step that you're talking about is the best next thing you can do. Analyzing deals is going to be the best thing that you can do to kind of have an appreciation of the market, like you're saying. And you'll come to learn this from more experienced real estate investors. They'll just look at the deal, know where it's located, and take a glance at it from the outside, and they'll know whether or not it's a home run or not. A lot of people get hung up on, what your monthly expenses are going to be and all these minute details and the exact condition of the property and every kind of investment that needs to go into it. But once you've analyzed hundreds of deals, it's just going to become more apparent and take a lot of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt out of the process. So when it comes to analyzing deals, I think that you should definitely set an actionable goal for yourself. Like we were saying earlier, systems, not goals. Don't make it a goal to just analyze properties. Say you want to analyze 2 a day, 1 a day, 3 a day, 7 a week, whatever it might be for whatever time period, and then stick to that. Get that muscle flexing and start analyzing those deals. And then you're going to really become more certain about what you're doing and feel more confident. And I think we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the next steps to get you into your first property or your next property if you already have a couple investments.
Exactly. And when I started out, that's all I was doing. I was analyzing every single property that was on the market. If I wanted to invest in a single family, every single family that was in my price range, I was doing every one of them. Even if I didn't think it could work out, I just wanted to run through the process over and over and over again so I could get an idea of how that all worked, what the numbers were going to look like. And that helped me out so much. And like you said, I can pretty much now look at a deal in my market and know if it's overpriced, know how much work it's going to be, know what my average cash flow could be, because I've analyzed 1,000 deals at least, and that muscle memory is there. And like you said, just start with a small actionable goal, 1 a day, like James said, 7 a week, something like that. And within a month of doing that every day, you're going to have a way better idea of what everything looks like just from taking that small actionable step. So I think that's huge. And that should be the second thing on your list to help you get started this year investing in real estate.
Perfect. So now we got our analysis of our deals going. We've cranked some out. It's been a month or two. What's our next step, Patrick? What are we looking at next for getting into our investment property or our deal?
So this is kind of combined step here. So what you're going to want to do is go and start looking at deals. So you've been analyzing deals, you've seen a couple things, you've got an idea of where you want to invest, what's going on. Talk to a real estate agent, tell them you're a new investor, and go out and start walking properties. Start looking at them, and just see what's on the market, see what's available, that you have an idea on, and just get a feel for the locations and everything else, and kind of what these properties are looking like, how much work's going to need to go into everything. And that'll help a ton. Once you start going and walking through things, seeing what kind of tenants are in there, everything else, that is really going to open your mind, and that's going to be that next actionable step into that direction. And the second thing I would say is start calling around some local lenders and getting pre-approved, so you know what you can afford and how much it's going to cost to get into that deal. Because the last thing you want to do is walk one, find the perfect one, and then come to find out you can't afford it. So James, what do you think about those two next actionable steps?
The worst thing that happens to me as a real estate agent is, we're always hungry. We want to go out there with our clients, show them the property, get them interested. And then, in that all that excitement, kind of forgetting or not jumping on the fact that we need that pre-approval first. We need to have proof of funds. We need to know where that money's coming from. And then a lot of times, investors get a little excited and they might be trying to buy something that's a little bit out of the price range without having that knowledge. And that creates a lot of frustration. So I definitely agree that one of the first things you should do is get that pre-approval. Talk to your lender, review your finances, get all of that in order so you know exactly what you should be looking for. So I agree with that. And, maybe we should also talk a little bit about finding the right real estate agent. What does that look like? I mean, I know I've worked with quite a few real estate agents myself. Not every real estate agent out there is going to be great for investors. It takes a special kind of real estate agent. And I think if I could offer any advice on that front, it would be to find a way to kind of prove yourself for that real estate agent to take you seriously. I'll get a lot of leads that come in that are investors, and it becomes very apparent that all they want to do is see the property, and they do not want to form a relationship. I fire those clients almost immediately. I'm not going to spend time on them. The clients that I'll take super seriously are those that want to build a relationship and educate themselves. So I think that when you're going out there looking for a real estate agent, that's one of the things you should focus in on. Find those real estate agents that want to build that relationship, learn from you to find out what your goals are, and then also can teach you about the market and what would look like a great deal and kind of where everything's at as far as the market goes, pricing, location, all those kind of things. What do you think, Patrick?
That's huge. And I also think that being upfront and honest with what you're trying to do and where you're at is huge with the agent. And I would really try to find an agent that invests in real estate themselves. I think that's huge because they're going to be able to help you out. They've got experience. They've ran through the process. They probably have a good list of maybe some contractors or just some other things that are going to help you out along the journey. Because again, you're looking to build a long-term relationship. Hopefully this isn't going to be your one and only rental property that you're buying or flip or whatever you decide to do. And building that relationship with that agent is going to be huge. So once you're serious, you're closing on that first one, you're letting them know what your goals are for this year. They're going to know that you're serious. You're going to be showing them that you're serious, and being upfront and open and honest in the beginning of that relationship is going to pay dividends down the road. So I couldn't agree with you more on all aspects of that. So reverse those two, go get pre-approved first, find your agent. You might have to call a couple and reach out to some investor networks and everything and see what people are using, and then go and start looking at properties. So that's number 3, 4, and 5, I guess. What's the next one, James? I think we got 1 or 2 more. We're gonna keep adding some.
There's too many to talk about for sure. We're not going to be able to cover everything you guys should be doing. The actionable steps are limitless. I think another one that speaks to me is, and honestly made me very uncomfortable in the beginning. Getting out of that comfort zone is what got me to meet Patrick a couple years ago. That's going to meetups, going to meet people, connect with like-minded people. You guys have heard our story. Like we met by getting up 7 a.m., go down to this meetup for a syndication talk. And it was a pain in the ass to do, but we did it because it was so early, and it was worth it, 100% worth it. Met a lot of great people. And I think that's probably one of the best things I think that any new investor can do. You're going to learn from other people's mistakes. You're going to learn what people are doing great, and you're going to connect with people and have those relationships that get you excited to get up every day and do this whole real estate game, to do this whole personal finance, financial independence game. So I think the most important thing out of everything that we've talked about, and there's a lot of great tips here, build relationships with people. Find ways to go connect with people in person and online. I know Bigger Pockets has a great community. Reach out to us on Instagram. We're trying to connect with people, and you guys should be too, because that's really going to be the jet fuel that gets you to the next level, I think.
That's number one. That should be the number one thing, because with the networking, with going to those real estate meetups, you're going to get the knowledge that we talked about. There's always real estate agents that are working with other investors at real estate investor meetups. There's lenders there. There's people with experience that are doing flips, buying multifamilies, buying single families, doing Airbnb, short-term rentals, anything that you are wanting to get into, whatever your niche is going to be. Those people are there. And let's be honest, the only people that we can really talk about real estate with passionately is other like-minded people. And people love talking about their deals and their properties and what they've got going on, and are willing to help you out for free. So networking, going to meetups, that should be, number one on the list. Just get out there, put yourself out there, and you'll see that everybody else doing this is just like you. They started just like you. Green, a noob, whatever, but they took action, and they did what I always say. They decided to do something. They committed to the process and what they were going to do, and then they took action. And just going to a real estate meetup, I think, is going to really put all of that in perspective. And like James just said, that's going to be the rocket fuel to give you the systems to put in place to start doing all of the other things, so you can kickstart 2022 and go after your goals. Man, some great stuff we've just dropped on you guys today, for sure.
I think we need to make a T-shirt up: decide, commit, take action. That's a good one, Patrick.
I've been wanting to for a while, so we're going to have to do that. I think James and I are going to have to get a little link tree underneath our Instagrams for some merch for the podcast and the Decide, Commit, Take Action T-shirt. So that's going to be one of my things to work on over the next couple of weeks, and we'll definitely get that started. We'll have the Decide, Commit, Take Action tribe out
So
here.
let's try to just summarize all the great things that we had. Patrick, you let me know if I missed anything. Oh. My bad. Sorry on that. So we'll do a little summary of what we had going on. Get knowledgeable, learn things, teach yourself, meet like-minded people, get out there, connect in networking events, get comfortable talking to people, review your finances, get to an appreciation of what you can afford, get that pre-approval ready, find a real estate agent that's going to be good for working with investors. Analyze deals and set up systems for that. If you want to send out, 100 postcards a month, get a system in place for that. If you want to analyze 5 deals a week, get a system in place for that. Take action. I think that's the last step. Take actions. Get on it. Do it.
That's the last and most important step, is actually taking action and doing something. The difference between you and the person that's doing what you dream of and want to do is that they actually took action. That's the biggest thing. Taking action. Things are going to fall into place. It's going to take some time. And these action items that James and I are giving you right now, these should be your focus for the next 3 months. If you can start one at a time, adding each one of these things that we're talking about over the next 2 or 3 months, you're going to be leaps and bounds further ahead, by April than a lot of other people out there. So go out, take some action, reach out to both of us. We are available. We love helping people. We answer our DMs. You can reach us on Instagram, reach us on the website or on the email at the end of the outro, info@therealfi.com. Is that correct, James?
You got it.
And we're here to help any way we can. So I hope today gave you guys some great insight. We brought some value to you guys on this Thursday. That's when these are going to be coming out. And James, take it away.
That's it. It's good hearing from you guys, and good talking to you guys, and hopefully you picked up something, and we're going to connect with you in the future, and we're going to be here on your pursuit of financial independence.
So have a great day, guys. Kick today's ass, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Real FI podcast, where you learn from the investors that have lived the hard lessons for you. To connect with us during your pursuit of financial independence, be sure to join our community by following us on Instagram or emailing us at info@therealfi.com. If this content made you financially, mentally, physically, or spiritually richer, please make sure to leave us a positive review on your preferred content platform. Cheers to kicking the 9 to 5.